Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Recently I did a video on how to grow vegetable indoors, a complete guide, and a few people suggested that I should do another one, but this time it should be completely hydroponic without any soil. So today we are going to do exactly that. So again, this video may be a little bit lengthy because I'm going to go into the details of everything. So I will put the timeline in the description below. That way you can go to the exact section that you want to watch without having to watch the entire video. And again, I have done these videos many times before, so I would link you to the videos that I've done in the past. That way you can also watch those. So before we start the hydroponic setup, I need to clean out my tent. So I'll go over the materials again. That way you know exactly what to get. Also, I will put links to the stuff that I use so you can use the exact one. For hydroponic, it's going to be a little bit different, but the tent and the grow light are going to be the same. So you need some kind of artificial light, and I will post links to the company that I've used in the past. And Brad is the owner of the Hidden Harvest company, a very nice person, and you can talk to him because he has a YouTube channel as well as Instagram. Very nice person, so you should check him out. Very helpful as well. So a grow tent is what you need. That way everything is all in one place, and also because the grow tent has this reflective material, it does help bounce light back and forth, so that does help the plant. And then the grow light, we're also going to need hydroponic nutrients, so I'm going to go over that as well. So let's go ahead and clean this up. Alright guys, I got the tent all nice and clean, and my new container is ready to go. We're going to grow a few different type of vegetables. That way you can see which one I'm growing and which one grows the best. That way you can decide for yourself. So I have around 5 different varieties. I'll go over that soon. But the container here you can get from Home Depot. This is, I think it's a 17 gallons. I forgot. I lost the label, but it's smaller than the 27 gallons because I have both. And what we're going to do is we're going to use these hole saw right here to drill holes into the container, the lid. So you can use any size net cups you like. This is a 2-inch and this is a 3-inch. So for the 2-inch, you're gonna need a 51 millimeter that would drill this hole right here, and it'll fit exactly that too. And then for a 3-inch net cup, you're gonna need a 76 millimeter, and it's a number 3, and I think this is a number 1. And the 76 millimeter would drill a hole right here that would fit a 3-inch net cup like that. So I recommend that whatever you choose to use the same size. That way you can reuse this containers over and over and over and over. All right, for drilling, the important thing is that you would center this by guiding it to that dot there. Now you set the drill to go forward. So once it attaches itself, you want to switch it so that it can go backward, and then you can drill. You see that going backward will give you a nice straight cut, and it doesn't strain your wrist, so that's what I recommend you do. What we're gonna do now is we're going to start some seeds. And starting seeds, it's pretty important to pick certain varieties that will be compatible with each other, because I've done it in the past, and some plants will outcompete the others for resources, and they will just take up everything, and they are the only one that grows while the rest remain small. So one of the ones that do that is the pak choi. Pak choi is like the heavy feeder, and also tat soy is the same. They feed pretty heavily, and then they outcompete my lettuce. So I'm gonna start all of these here so that you can see. Here's tat soy, I have giant Caesar here. I have perpetual spinach. This is pak choy and red lettuce. So to start seeds, I'm gonna use this container here because I have a lid, and what that does is it keeps the moisture in so that you don't have to water again, and you just add water to the rock wool, have the rock wool soak the water up, and then you drop the seeds in, and then you wait till it sprout. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna pour water in here, and the water I'm using is nothing special, just straight out of my faucet. Okay, and then allow the rock wool to soak the water up. Okay, and then you can just pour the excess water out. Okay, and now we are going to take our seeds and place them into the rock wool. And because I want to make sure that something sprout, we're gonna poke multiple holes and start multiple seeds, and then we can thin those out later. The seeds are pretty small. Okay, and then we'll just drop maybe 2 seeds per hole. Okay, and that is how we start our seed. And then we're gonna put the lid like that, and I'm gonna keep it under my grow light somewhere nice and warm, and they will sprout. So I'm gonna do it for the rest, and then I'll come back and show you what to do next. Alright guys, so I have my seeds all placed in these rock wool, and now what we're gonna do is we want to make sure that the seeds make contact with water. Then we're gonna spray it a little bit. Okay, and now we'll just place the lid on top and then leave it here, and then we'll check back in a few days to see if it's sprouted. And then we're gonna wait a while because we need to wait until roots come out of the bottom of the rock wool before we place them into this large container, and then we'll mix the nutrients. So we'll be back soon. Alright guys, it has been 7 days now, and the seeds have sprouted and the seedlings are looking great. So many of these plants sprouted in around 3 days, like these pak choy here, the tatsoi, and the perpetual spinach. My giant Caesar never came up, so I replaced them with arugula. So now these are going to be arugula. So today what we're going to do is we're going to place them in these net cups to get them ready. We're not going to thin them out yet because we're waiting to see which one will grow the best, and then we'll thin at that time. So right now I'm going to put them into the mini net cups here. And you want to push them all the way to the bottom because that's going to be helpful once we start to transplant them. Okay, so at this stage, you can actually feed them half-strength nutrients, but I'm not going to waste my time on half-strength. I'm just going to go full strength. And all you have to do is just pour it to the bottom like that. And the roots will come out of the net cup to try to get the nutrients right here. And that would promote root growth, and then in another week, they should be ready to be transplanted into the larger unit. So we'll be back then. Alright guys, it has been exactly 7 days now. So that's the total of 2 weeks on these seedlings. And man, they are growing like crazy. So as soon as I pour in nutrients, they started to take off. So they are now at the point where they're ready to be transplanted into our larger system. So we're going to have to thin a bunch of these out. You see here, these are a few pak choy. So we only need 1 per net pot because these things are gonna grow really, really big. And look how beautiful the red lettuce is. So we're going to pull all of these out and leave just the big one, whatever the biggest one is. Look at the root system already developed. So that is a good sign, because as soon as we transplant them, they're going to take off. So this tote here is a 17 gallons, and I've tested filling this up with the net pot in there, and it takes around 13 gallons to have the water touch the bottom of the net cup, which is exactly what we need. So let's go ahead and fill this up, and then we're going to add our nutrients, and then we're going to transplant the plants in there. Okay, when you're filling up the tub here, make sure you have a test subject already in place, so that when you fill it up, you want to make sure that the water level touches the bottom of the net cup or slightly above, and that is all you need, because we're using the non-circulation method. So you cannot fill it all the way to the top, because you may drown the plants. So just have it touch the net cup or slightly above. And what I'm using is just water right straight out of the garden here. I have the hose run all the way up in here. So I'm gonna fill this up with 13 gallons, and then we're gonna come back and add our nutrients next. And then you see I have extra holes. I'm gonna show you what I do to cover these up, because these are holes that I've created for other purposes, and I've reused the container as I mentioned. So we're going to cover these up. That way we don't waste the lid. Alright guys, I have the container completely filled to the point that I want it to be. So make sure you test. You see there, the water level is touching the bottom. So sometimes your place may not be leveled, so one section may be touching and one maybe not. So just make sure they all touched right there, and has a little bit of water past the bottom line right there, and we are all set. So now what are we gonna do with these extra holes? We are going to use this here. This is the one that I've used in the past, and all it is a reflective material that you can buy at Home Depot in the furnace section, and you just line it up, cut it to make sure it fit, and then for the holes, just use a scissor and poke holes and to make a hole like that. It doesn't have to be perfect, and then cover up the ones that you already have extras. Alright guys, we have the water ready, so we are going to mix our nutrients, and what we're going to use is the Aero Garden liquid plant food. This is the 436. You can get from Aero Garden, or you can get them from Amazon. Just shake this up. And I'm going to use this one here. This is a 5 milliliter medicine dropper, and for each gallon I'm going to drop one of the 5 milliliters. So this one here is 13 gallons, so I'm going to use 13 of these. Alright, next we are going to stir this up. Alright guys, so I got everything cut out right there, and the extra holes, I fill it up with just some simple tape. And now we are ready to transplant our plants in here. So we'll take the plants here, and maybe we'll go by the schematic, maybe not, because the tatsoi may go out of control. So I might have to put it at the very corner. So let's do that. So pak choi here, and we need to pull up one plant. So just pick the best one and then leave the other one. So this one looks good. We're going to pull this one up. If you do it gently, you can probably plant it somewhere else. You see? So you can plant that at a different location, like in your garden or another hydroponic system you have. So I'll save it there. And then this one here, ooh, this one's kind of tipping over. So we'll pull that one up. Actually, this one is stronger, so we'll pull this one up. We'll place it over there. And there you have it. So we are going to wait and see how much it will grow in the next few weeks. So you may be wondering why I did not adjust pH. I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible, and this time we're not going to do any pH. So we'll be back soon. Alright guys, it has been 11 days now since we moved the plants into the big unit here. So the total time has been 25 days for everything, and the plants are doing amazing. Considering we didn't do any pH, all we did was just add water, add nutrients, stir it up, and then place the plant in there and wait. That is as simple as it gets. So here is the setup. This is the Hidden Harvest Company Grow Light, the HH200. That is a 17-gallon tub, and we filled it up with 13 gallons of water, and then we add 13 of the 5 milliliter of the AeroGarden solution, stir it up, and then place the plant on and just wait. So in 25 days they are looking really good. So let's take a look closer and I'll show you what they look like. Man, that red lettuce is beautiful. You see how these pak choi, as I mentioned earlier, they usually grow so fast and so big, and they're going to outcompete the rest. I'm very surprised that the tat soy is not doing as well as I thought. And then this perpetual spinach is not doing as well as that. So there may be something with the last pocket over here, because those two plants are not doing as well as the rest of them. So we need to figure out why. So here is the pak choi. They are doing amazing. Red lettuce, awesome, just looks gorgeous. Man, look at these arugula. So sometimes the leaves cover, so you need to like kind of move it out of the way, or else the other plants will not grow well. So kind of like shift the plant somehow, move. Let's say that we can move this, like spin the net cup. See, there we go. Now this one can get some light, so you can just turn the net cup. You can actually harvest the plant at this point to use if you need to, and just cut a few leaves and they'll grow right back. So you have a bunch of more harvest to come, because the nutrient solution is still pretty full. So let's take a look. Look at that, guys. They have not done anything to the solution. I mean, the roots are nice and healthy. There's plenty of water left before they can use up the entire bucket. So it is basically very easy and maintenance free. It's almost like just set it there and watch it grow. So we'll be back soon, and I will give you guys another update once the plants get a little bit bigger. Alright guys, welcome back. It has been exactly 29 days now, and the plants are doing amazing. The pak choi, wow, look at this. It's just growing like crazy. And as I mentioned, pak choi a really heavy feeder. So if you grow it next to another plant of a different variety, usually the pak choi will outcompete it. As you can see here, that's the arugula. So we had to move the leaves out of the way here from the neighbors so that the arugula can grow, and it's actually doing quite well. Not too good, but the one back there is doing much better. And as you can see, the leaves are really large. So when you grow arugula in hydroponic, the leaves are just enormous, and they're pretty tasty as well. And here is the perpetual spinach, and that one as well. This one is a little bit smaller. Our tat soy is just like sprawling out right there. It's actually growing pretty well. But overall, all of the plants are doing great. We shouldn't put this many plants in so close to each other. I knew that from the beginning, but I just wanted to grow all kinds of different varieties so that you can see which one grows the best, so that you can decide to grow them for yourself. Perpetual spinach are amazing. They can grow in soil or hydroponic, and they do great. Pak Choi, man, these guys here, they love hydroponic. So look at how beautiful and big they are. And of course, just the regular lettuce, they're great. And arugula, look at the size of those leaves. They look just amazing. They all look so tasty and healthy. So this method is so simple. It's called the non-circulation method, also referred to as the Kratky method. And I didn't do anything to the container. I just add water, add nutrients, mix it up. No pH required for this setup. And I'm gonna show you the roots once more. Look at those healthy white roots. They're just beautiful. So the nutrients level really didn't drop much at all. So you can harvest whatever you want to use and just leave them, cut a few leaves, and they will keep growing back. And because the nutrient level is still pretty full, it's gonna keep growing and growing, and you can keep using and using. So you can cut and come back, cut again for many times, and it's as simple as that, guys. So if you have like multiple setups, then you would probably have salads all the time, maybe every single day. So use your imagination. Depending on what size setup you have, you can grow more or less. So I hope you enjoyed the video. This is the Hidden Harvest Company grow light. The tent is 2 feet by 4 feet by 5 feet high. I will link you to some of the materials that I use, so check the description. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave it below, and thank you so much for watching.